Guys, seriously, 50-foot Ethernet cable, 15-foot HDMI cable. Best $5-10 ever spent. Seriously, look at this. Extra screen using a TV, spare TV and an extra screen here on vacation on my mobile setup. And then you got reliable, good old trusty wired internet. Takes a while to get used to all the cables running around the room, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to lose a ton of money because I'm on crappy, sketchy Wi-Fi. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cayman Islands. We're hanging out here on the world famous 7 Mile beach, doing a little bit of chilling, doing a little bit of trading. So far, at the time of the filming of this video, we're green 3 out of 3 days on vacation, making over $3,000 while traveling. What a dream, guys. And today's video is gonna be about answering some of your questions that you guys sent in. So let's hop right to it, right after the Madaz Money intro, of course. Guys, let's get this started, man. It's so sick being here in the Caymans. I can't believe it, man. You guys seen some of the pictures I posted on my Instagram story? You can see that, man, it looks almost fake. I mean, I'm here and I'm looking at it. It looks fake. It looks like a Windows wallpaper or something. Some of the scenes that I'm seeing here, it's unreal. It's absolutely paradise. I mean, it's really hot. It's like 90 degrees, 90-something degrees, but humid hot. So I got like 20 bug bites on me, but it's absolutely awesome, man. I'm staying right next to the beach, literally 15 seconds away from the beach, and you know, it's just paradise, man. I can go for a swim in the ocean during trader nap time, and you know, food here is awesome. Just had some amazing lobster last night. Been drinking like crazy. It's just, man, it's just life, man. This is the life. This is the trader lifestyle right here, man. But overall, man, it's freaking unreal. It's unreal. Driving on the left side of the road, though, a little challenging, but I'm getting used to it. But let's go ahead and get started with this Q&A. Really wanted to do this at the beach, but there's too many people, so we're gonna have to settle for this little patio courtyard area, which is right where I'm staying at anyway, so I didn't have to move very far. But you guys can see there's a pool in the background. The beach is actually behind the pool. You got some nice palm trees. It's really nice here. It's a little shady cabana area where I'm not frying out there in the sun. It's actually really hot, guys. Really easy to sunburn here. So found this little nice spot here to do this Q&A. So let's get the ball rolling. All right, let's see what kind of awesome questions you guys got in store for me today. Azat Ovazov asks, "Hi Max, is it a good idea to use P&L based stop loss? Or what kind of stop loss do day traders use in general? What kind of stop loss do you use? Thanks, Max. My trades are getting better since I joined the Madaz Money chat room." Well, thanks a lot for your question, Azat. And thanks a lot for being a loyal member of Madaz Money. I appreciate that. To answer your question, it just really varies from person to person. I mean, if you're a person that needs to, you know, cap your losses at a certain level, and that's the case, then, you know, if that keeps you in control, by all means go for it. Personally for me, I just stick with mental stops. I kind of treat each trade as mutually exclusive of each other, and I don't really go so much by that, although I do have journaling and statistical data to prove that if I'm, you know, down a certain point, you know, on the day, more often than not, I'm probably not going to recover and things are probably going to spiral out of control. So that depends on journaling. But so overall, I would just suggest that you track your own trades, see what works for you. Maybe you need to have a P&L based stop loss. Maybe you don't. I use just mental stops and treat each trade as independent of each other. So Alain Nicolas Jose. Hi Max, I'm a trader from Mexico. Wow, so you got a French name and you're from Mexico. Not sure whether to say hola or bonjour, but hey, wherever one works, you might understand both. Thanks a lot for all the effort you put in. 2 questions. Is it good to start with a $5,000 account, presuming the following factors: playing 2-to-1 risk reward setup with a max loss of 500, put in all your account per trade, no margin, assuming you have a 50% accuracy. Man, my brain's too fried to do the math on that right now. But if you lose 50% of the time, that's not good enough. Assuming that you have a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, you should theoretically be fine if it's really a 2-to-1. Obviously with a 50%, if you're a 1-to-1, you're just break even, but at 2-to-1, based off of those numbers, you should be fine. But you know, things don't always work out according to plan, right? So you might want to actually put into practice what you have right now on paper before you jump to any conclusions. Could you go more specific about your journaling? What would be the best place to start journaling? I'm gonna make a YouTube video about this and explain in more detail. But when it comes to journaling, all you have to do is just track the things that you want to track in terms of, like, for example, your P&L, your for example, your P&L, shares traded, number of trades traded, so make sure you're not over trading. I track how much I'm up on a day, like the most I was up on a day, the most I was down on a day, the time of day, the types of tickers that were in play, the types of tickers I traded, the float size. You can also track things like, you know, the highs and the lows of the stock, things of that nature. Overall, the end goal, there's no one right or wrong way to trade. You just got to figure out what you got to do to understand the patterns, any inconsistencies or problems you might have with your trading, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and the data is just there to help you. That's all it really is. There's no right or wrong way. It's just whatever it takes for you to get the job done. So for me, it's what I named, and it helped me determine things like when to take my trader naps and all that stuff. So you know, do whatever works for you, man. We could always talk about this more in detail when you get more specific about your question. Enjoy the Caymans. Thanks a lot. So thanks for your question, Alain. Appreciate that. Mile Yanevsky asks, hopefully I said that right. Big thanks to the free content you provide. Have you considered starting to trade crypto, adding some crypto traders to your chat? I actually tried to at least watch crypto for a while. It just moves too damn slow for my taste. We do have some crypto traders in the room, enough to actually have a crypto channel in our room. So if you want to connect with some of the crypto traders in your room, you're more than welcome to do so. We do have a handful of people that do trade crypto in our room, but not really my cup of tea. It just, I mean, I like the fast adrenaline rush, quick, violent, volatile stuff, and crypto just doesn't offer that for me. So yeah, not really my thing. Jeremy Madaz, hopefully I didn't butcher that name. You guys got some fancy ass names, man. Hopefully I'm pronouncing them correctly, and if I don't, I apologize. So Jeremy, your question: is it possible to get a video on tape reading with some tips and tricks? Seems impossible. No matter how much I watch, I can't figure it out. Jeremy, I feel ya. I mean, tape reading is very abstract. It took me a year before I got the gist of it, and overall, it's something that takes just screen time, man. You just gotta watch it as much as possible. Stare at the level 2 for hours on end every day, and maybe one day you'll just get it. That's pretty much how it was for me. And one thing I always recommend to people is to record your screens, record your days, record all the level 2s, and see if you can spot, you know, things like reversals, hidden sellers or buyers, iceberg orders, things of that nature on tape. Watch it on slow speed, slow it down, 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, whatever you need to get the idea, to see what's going on, because in real time, obviously, sometimes it's really difficult. If you watch any of my YouTube videos, pretty much all of them involve tape reading. So even if the title doesn't explicitly say tape reading, there's pretty much tape reading in every single one of my live trading videos, because that's my main thing that I do when it comes to executing my trades. So just watch any of my videos and you'll be able to find some tips about tape reading. I would regards to a tape reading specific video, we're going to be hosting a tape reading webinar in the Madaz my chat room. So if you want to join us, you can sit in and we can talk specifically about tape reading, breaking it down. But that's going to be something that's in the Madaz Money chat room only. So if that's something you're interested in, you're more than welcome to join us. Gregory Green, finally an easy name to pronounce. I appreciate that, Gregory. On your platform, will we place trades there or would we have to trade elsewhere? Our room is just basically a place to discuss trading. So you're going to need to find your own broker and execute trades there. We have a couple partner brokers, Centerpoint, and also Cobra. So hit us up via email. Send me an email if you want to sign up for a broker at one of our partner brokerages, and we can go from there. Reese Ratuta asked me, "Hey Max, some questions for the Q&A. I'm really curious about your strategy. You're such a great scalper." Thank you for that. Appreciate that. I think it's more in line with my personality type. Also, I was wondering, is it at all possible to share your daytrader CSV export on a daily basis for your members? Purely for timestamps, symbol, side, price, and shares. I have an app that plots trades from that CSV onto charts separated by trades and incredibly detailed, much more detailed than DAS chart up down arrows. So yeah, would that daily CSV export be something that can be shared if I signed up to your community? Would be amazing. If so, just had to ask. I mean, that's a little bit extra work for me. I go on the mic every single day and I call my trades live, and I record and post those videos so you can go back and see where exactly I took the trades. I mean, if there's enough demand, why not? But so far, that's the only time I've had that requested. So maybe if there's more demand, why not? But at the time being, I think right now the mic sessions that are being recorded where I call my trades out live are more than enough. But just let me know. We'll keep in touch, and if there's enough demand, we can accommodate that. Second part of the question: when do you start making your pre-market lists? 6 a.m., 6:15, 5:30 a.m. before you create your community. I was wondering if one of the benefits to your strategy is that it doesn't require super long pre-market analysis. Currently, I'm spending at least 30 minutes in pre-market for mid to large caps. Thanks, Max. Hope the Caymans treating you well. Thanks a lot. The Caymans are treating me very well. So good observation. This strategy does take very little to prepare. I've gotten to a point where I could probably get ready in 15 minutes or so. Although if you're a newer trader, definitely take at least 30 minutes. That sounds reasonable. And I'm assuming you're talking about Pacific time, 6 a.m., 6:15, 5:30. 6 a.m. is probably more than enough time. Sometimes I get up a little bit later than that, but 15 minutes is enough for me to get my pre-market stuff going and be prepared, spot my support and resistances, and look up the necessary facts about the stock, float, all that stuff with the presence of dilution, all that mumbo jumbo. Doesn't take that long for me to do it in my strategy. So yes, so good observation on that. Hack Lee writes, "Hi Max, I used to be in civil engineering industry here in Canada. You inspire me to question the rat race and be different, bro." Yeah, that's awesome, man. Good to hear. My question is, can I develop an edge trading blue chip companies and large caps if all I know is trading small micro penny stocks? So blue chips and large caps, there are different beasts. There's lots more that go on in blue chips and large caps, so you have to be aware and learn the different idiosyncrasies of the blue and large cap stocks. So definitely there are some crossover things. For example, panic is still panic whether it's on small cap or a large cap, but overall you're still gonna have to learn the ropes, so to speak, when it comes to blue chips. There's just a lot more stuff going on, institutional stuff. You're just gonna have to watch blue chips and try to pick up what the differences are between blue chips and small caps. Now, if you're good at small caps and you got the fundamental skills down in terms of, say, like you're really fast, or you're really good at tape reading, you're really good at just chart analysis in general, more or less those things still apply. So you know, it's not completely like starting over from scratch, so to speak, but just if you have a good foundation, yeah, you can absolutely start with the blue chips and then notice to see the differences in the patterns and then apply them accordingly. Beyond Tang asks, hi Madaz, is a washout long your only strategy? What books did you read to understand it better, if there is any? So the washout long is kind of like something that I kind of came up with myself, so to speak. I mean, it's not something I invented by any means. People have been doing that probably forever, but I guess like I just started doing it a lot and people kind of caught on, and I just kind of called it the washout long. But basically the washout long is essentially just a dip buy, and you know, when you have a stock drop violently to an obvious support level, I just buy it for a quick reversal. That's basically what just a washout long is. It's just a violent dip buy off a big, you know, usually a big red candle right to support. So it's nothing really special from a conceptual standpoint. It's just very difficult from an execution standpoint, because you have to be fast, you have to have your orders in quickly, you have to be able to react fast to the market. So that's what makes it hard. So so there are probably no books. It's really nothing really to read about other than the fact that, you know, it's just a dip buy off a sharp violent drop. Taylor Humphreys asks, hi Max, other than washout longs, do you use any other long setups? Do you track statistics on the setups you use? So I mean, the washout long again is just more or less like a tool. It's like an instrument that I use to execute my trades. The overall strategy is still like, you know, for example, I'm trading an uptrend and I'm just buying dips on that uptrend. You know, that's really all I'm doing. Shorting pops on a downtrend. So it's really nothing special from a conceptual standpoint. I always joke around about the fact that my trading concepts, my trading strategies, if I were to write a book, it would be like 3 pages long, because the concepts are so simple. You guys know me. I'm all about you know, keeping things simple, and more or less, you know, it's just something that I use on a day-to-day basis as just a tool and means to an end. So in terms of setups, it's hard to describe based off of that definition, but I guess you can say that washout longs is just something that I do every single day, buying dips in an uptrend. You know, cross over a key resistance level, buying dips against that level, high of day, things of that nature. Also, do you track statistics? Yes, I do. I've been journaling for 5-6 years. Highly recommend it if you haven't done so already. Absolutely take advantage of that, because if you don't know, you know, how much of an edge you have, you're pretty much just gambling. So, by all means, absolutely track your setups, track statistics, and know exactly what you're getting yourself into for each trade. It's like a giant lizard like staring at me, and just hopefully it's not gonna like run over here and like bite me or something. But anyways, Rocco Avellino asks, first off, what's up? I'm not a part of your room right now, but I've been following you on Twitter for over a year. You seem like a solid dude and trader. Here are a few questions. What are your favorite setups to look for? Rocco, that question is answered in the facts section, FAQ section on my website, so feel free to check that out, madazmoney.com/FAQ. What signals give you the ultimate conviction? Usually when you have a bunch of things lining up and the stars align, so to speak. You know, stock dropping right to obvious support level, you got bid propping, you got soaking, whatever. The tape's telling you the same story as the chart. That's more or less what I'm looking for. I just use the chart in the level 2. Have you always taken larger size positions? If not, when did you know when it was time to? So I know when it's time to when the market's hot, when there's lots of opportunities, lots of high quality grade A opportunities, so to speak. There's lots of liquidity, lots of volume, lots of action, lots of volatility. That's when I know when to size up. How do you figure out your target price? Multiple factors or just one? Simple support and resistance, man. Support and resistance, and coinciding with the tape read. If everything tells me the same story, then it's more often than not the way it should be. And last question, what product do you use for your hair? It seems to stay up like DBZ characters. Well, thanks for noticing, Rocco. 2 products I use, Moroccan Oil and American Crew Pomade. So I'll put the links to those products in the description. Check it out, and if either one of those companies are looking for a sponsor, or willing to sponsor me rather, hey, shout out. Let me know, guys. enjoy the Caymans. If you ever end up in Clearwater Beach, America's #1 beach, hit me up. I live 5 minutes away from one of the best beaches on the Gulf Coast with a spare master. Awesome, Rocco. Appreciate that. I ever hit up, was it, I think Florida is where Clearwater Beach is at. I'll be sure to let you know. Man, that lizard's still there, man. It's kind of creeping me out, but it's still, you know, letting me have my space. I'm letting it have its space, so we're both good for now. Chase Ran asking, hey Max, I'm a 30-year-old practicing chiropractor in Minnesota. I'm looking to eventually change careers into full-time trading. I've always been fascinated with finance and economics. It just happened too late when I realized I should pursue what I'm most interested in and make a career out of it. I love business, but the one I'm in is just too mundane. I require more adrenaline. Sounds like me, man. I mean, I graduated with engineering and I picked up trading at the age of 22, so it's never too late, man. It's never too late. Anyways, my question is, to someone like me who has no real trade experience, where should I begin? The market seems like this gigantic mountain, and to understand everything about how to traverse it seems as though it would take forever. I was hoping to get some advice on how/where to begin teaching myself how to day trade, how to know when I'm ready to take it on full time, sell my practice. I'm 30 and my goal is to have my practice sold by 35 the latest. I'm reading some books on technical analysis, general market knowledge, but other than that, not sure where to go. I'm a very linear person. I want to treat this as if I'm going to college all over again and I need a syllabus. It's been a pleasure following you and your team's success. I wish you even more success in the future. Thanks for your time. The Caymans look beautiful. Thanks for your question, Dr. Chase. Kind of a broad question. I'm going to try my best to answer that the best I can and just give you how I started. Basically, I started from just reading a lot of articles online, so just do your research online. That's pretty much how we go about things regarding everything nowadays in the year 2019, so to speak. Watch a lot of YouTube videos. Definitely watch my YouTube videos as a place to start. Just make sure you read the right stuff, and then start paper trading, man. Start paper trading. Start implementing the stuff you learn, so that way you know what's valid and what's not. It's a big trial and error process, man. That's something that you gotta understand about trading, is that when it comes to it, it's just a big iterative process, and then once you figure out how it's done, then you know it's going to be a lot more clearer when it comes to what you need to do. But in the meantime, I know it just seems like you're kind of throwing to the wolves, so to speak. But overall, what I did was, you know, I just read this, read that, watched this video, watched that, and then tried it. Hey, it didn't work, cross it off the list, keep trying it, cross it off the list. Eventually, you're gonna find at least enough like focus to narrow down what you like and what you don't like about trading, and then you know what to really hone in on. So eventually for me, I enjoyed scalping, so that's why I ended up focusing on. You know, some other people would have found swing trading to be more appealing, some people would have found long-term investing more appealing, but for me it was scalping that resonated with me, and that came through lots of trial and error, lots of researching online, lots of watching videos on YouTube. So yeah, I mean, I know it's a broad question, it's kind of a generic answer. We could definitely discuss this more in detail later on if you let me know. Just keep in touch, man. Keep sending me those emails if you got any more further questions. Maybe when you've got a bigger focus on what you specifically want to look at, shoot me an email. Maybe I'll better answer your question then. Kessler Kareem asks, hi Max, I contacted you on Instagram, but would rather communicate via email. I'm a beginner trader who wants to get into trading without referring to the snake oil salesman out there. I'm based in the UK and want to choose a profitable trading system which allows me to work initially in my full-time job while spending time with my young family. I'm more than willing to put in the time to study and gain knowledge, but want to know, do you use swing trading strategies as well? This will suit me better due to time difference and my work commitments. Please let me know your thoughts. Thank you again for your time. Kind regards. So I don't swing trade, but I used to work a full-time job and I was able to do what I do perfectly fine. I mean, once in a while, obviously I had to sneak around corner, so to speak, and play a little game of hide and seek at work, but you know, I was able to figure things out. I was able to do what I had to do, the scalping method, get in and out quickly, and it worked out fine, man. So don't restrict yourself to just swing trading. And you know, if that's not really end up being your thing, you don't want to force that if it doesn't suit your personality. So just keep an open mind when it comes to that stuff. All right, TD asks, first Max, first enjoy your vacation, you deserve it. Thanks a lot, man, appreciate that. The market is evolving continuously. What is your A+++ setup for all time? How do you learn about that setup? So my best setup was obviously washout long on a stock that's epically squeezing. Just go ahead and watch my BTTH video. Link should be somewhere on this video or in the description. That's basically my A+ setup. You know, that $50,000 day on VPTH is pretty much something that I dream of every single day. Hopefully we can get that soon. Have you set in your mind the stop loss dollar before entering the trade? Are you using hard stop or mental stop? I use mental stops. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't use fixed dollar amounts, so to speak. I just use support and resistance. If the stock hits the area where I'm no longer interested in being in the trade, then I just get out. Can you explain how to trade earnings reports as you did recently? Watch my video on Apple and NVIDIA, and you'll see exactly NVIDIA, rather. It's NVIDIA, not NVIDIA. Get that right. Can you explain how I did it? Just watch those videos. I explain it very, very thoroughly in those videos how I do it. Link should be in the description or somewhere in the video for those as well. Have you considered trading? Have you considered about the fundamental of the stock or just only about technicals? I mean, I'm always aware of the fundamentals. I don't trade completely off of them because my trades are such short in duration that it's not like an absolute necessity for me to completely rely on them. But it's good to be aware of it, and I am aware of the fundamentals in the stocks that I trade. How do you journal you trade? I just use Excel. Simply log just various things like my P&L, shares traded, time of day, stocks in play, general notes, things of that nature. That will help me understand, you know, what I did right, what I did wrong, what I can spot in terms of patterns in my trading, so I can kind of tweak things here and there and refine my strategy moving forward. So it's just really Excel, nothing really special there. So thanks a lot, Tom, for your questions. Man, that lizard is still there, man. It's been there for a while now. I swear to God, it's gonna do something. I'll show you guys that lizard at the end if it's still there. It's looking around, man, looking sketch. I see you, man. I see you, man. Keep an eye on you. Alright, Robin Hansen asks, hi Max, you stressed the importance of recording data from all your trades so that you can analyze later what trades you should take and avoid. Can you explain how you record that data? So like I said, I use Excel. I guess you export them from TOS. I actually don't export it from TOS, I just punch it in manually. And then I just put in Excel. Again, things like P&L, shares traded, tickers in play, specific notes about the ticker, float size, you know, things that will help me understand, okay, like, am I trading better in the morning, in the afternoon? Am I trading better with low float stocks or high float stocks? Things of that nature. I was able to figure out how to time exactly when to take my trader naps, how to, you know, from a larger term perspective, when to take my vacations. Obviously, I know exactly that August is slow. Why? Because from my journaling. So yeah, I mean, I just kind of journal stuff like that. It's just off the top of my head. This is all I can think of. I track a couple of other things, like things like commissions and fees and locate costs as well. So that way you understand, okay, I'm not over trading. I'm not spending too much on locates. It's not eating too much of my profits, the fees, that is. So it's good to track as much as you can, as long as it helps you see your patterns when it comes to your trading and what you can refine on moving forward. Thanks for the inspiration, man. Awesome, man. I appreciate that. Anil Pawa, hopefully I don't butcher that. What is your normal position size of the shares you trade? Your P&L statement you post daily don't indicate the number of shares, so it's difficult to get an idea of relative profits or loss given stock. If a person do trade that stock, just trying to figure out the number of shares with your showing P&L. It appears it will be an abnormally very high number of shares of an average trader. Wish you a pleasurable vacation while productively trading. Hope to hear your answer. Thanks in advance. Appreciate that, Anil. So the easiest way to find out the average position size that I'm taking on a particular day is just take the shares traded on my P&L post and just divide by the number of tickets. So if I'm trading 50,000 shares and I did 10 tickets, that means I traded an average of, you know, 5,000 shares per trade. So that's as simple as that. But typically, since it's summer, I've been trading pretty small, 1,000 shares, 2,500 shares, maybe even less than that, 500 shares. Nothing too crazy. Maybe in a more active market, I might be pushing 5,000, 10,000 shares. But right now, I'm on the smaller side of things. But just simply take the number of shares divided by the number of tickets, and you'll get the average. Jim JB got a couple questions here. Do you still have the same scanner settings that you've shown in the YouTube video on your channel? More or less the same, man. More or less the same. Maybe a couple tweaks here and there, but more or less the same. Do you research on the stocks you trade, or do you just trade what comes up on your scanner? Not 100% sure what you mean by research, but yes, I do look up the things like float, the presence of dilution, things of that nature. But if it pops up on scans, I do have enough time to quickly find out information, thanks not to the trader scanner, of course, which gives me that information in the blink of an eye. So it's really helpful to have that handy. But yeah, I do try my best to figure out as much about the stock as possible, even if it just pops up on scans in a matter of seconds. I currently use TOS trading software. Would I get better results if I start using Trade Ideas software? From a scanner standpoint, absolutely. The Trade Ideas scanner is miles ahead of the Thinkorswim scanner, not even close. So it's like going to be like what, $70 a month to have like the best scanner out there. And I'm not just saying that either. I've been using Trade Ideas now for like 3-4 years. It's absolutely amazing, and that's a big reason why I like to promote them so much, because they've helped me a lot, and I just want to promote a good product out there and help some other traders figure out ways to improve on their trading with better tools in their arsenal. So I mean, for a couple bucks a month, it's absolutely worth it. Definitely check it out. Link in the description. Trade Ideas is probably the best scanner out there. Is it worth paying for DAS as a new trader? Eventually, yes, because DAS is light years ahead in terms of speed. The level 2, if you compare the level 2 on DAS with the level 2 on Thinkorswim, dude, it's not even close. Like, the lag on the Thinkorswim level 2 is just ridiculous. Just put it side by side, and you'll see what I mean. You can check out DAS for 14 days for free via a demo account on my website. Go to madazmoney.com, just click on the DAS Trader logo under our partners, and then you can try out DAS for 14 days for free. And you can just put the level 2 side by side with the Thinkorswim level 2, and you'll see that's not even close. So yes, absolutely, it's worth paying for if you ever want to get serious at it. I have not been able to pick up how you trade. How do you do it? How do you read the tape like you do? I'm not sure what to look for. Do you mostly look at the chart or the tape? Kind of a loaded question, but I'll try my best to field that. I mostly look at the tape 90% of the time. The chart is more or less just a cheat sheet. I use the chart to look at the support and resistance levels that I need to look for on the tape. So I look for how the stock behaves on the level 2 at the prices that the chart is telling me to look at. So if there's a support at a certain price, then I'm going to look at that same price on the level 2, see if the stock's getting support there on level 2 via bid prop or a hidden buyer or something like that. Same thing with resistance. And that's the gist of how I trade, man. It's hard to really explain how I trade in like 30 seconds, but that's the best I can do. Again, definitely join the Madaz Money chat room if you want to get a better idea of how I trade every single day. I go live on the mic. I explain my thought process with each and every single trade I make. I think that's probably the best way to go about it, beyond just like a quick 30-second answer here on YouTube. Alright, so Diego Alcala asking, since I'm 14, I should start making a plan and improve on it. What should I do since I have so much time starting off so young? Man, that's awesome, man. Starting off at 14, that's crazy. At 14, I was broke. And at 16, I was working at McDonald's, so there was no way I would have any money to trade with. But if you have the money to do so, hey, more power to you. Man, if you're mentally ready for it, it doesn't matter what age you are, as long as you're willing to accept that there's downsides to trading. Again, 90% of traders do fail. Don't trade with money that you can't afford to lose. I would recommend that you talk to the Short Bear, one of our moderators, who started trading when he was 13, so he got you beat there, Diego. But he definitely has a lot more insight starting off trading at that age, and yeah, hit him up, man. Go on Twitter, the Short Bear, that's his handle. Hit him up, man. He'll probably give you better insight on that. Corey Feinstein asks, or Feinstein. Hey Madaz, love your content on Twitter and YouTube. Saw your post and had a question. What signals do you look for in level 2 and tape when going long? Like I mentioned earlier, I'm looking for some sort of stall via bid prop, or maybe there's a bid that's soaking, again, at a critical support level for a higher conviction trade. Usually the stock, it starts dropping, it starts dropping, it starts dropping, it starts free falling, and then, it's like dropping a ball, right? You drop a ball off a roof, eventually it's going to hit the floor. So I'm looking for the stock that's dropping, so to speak, and then hitting the floor, and then bouncing back up like the ball would if you dropped it from, like, the roof or something like that. So I'm just trying to find where that floor is on the level 2. You can spot it again with a bid prop, by looking at the tape and seeing there's a bid soak, or maybe even a guy that's just straight up supporting the stock blatantly by not even hiding his size, whatever. You need to look for some clues to help you see that there's buyers and demand for the stock at that price that you're expecting it to bounce, and that's my entry for the long. That's all there is to it, man. Greg Mullins asks, Max, I've been a long time follower of yours on Twitter, getting ready for October and trying to get my gear accounts all set up and familiar with trading platform and all. Do you still offer a trial of your membership? Send me an email, and actually, I'll just respond to you and we can discuss what options we have regarding that. What do you do with your gains? Where do you put all the money you make? The bank, other investments, etc. Definitely, I'm a big proponent of having your money work for you while you sleep. So yes, I do have other investments. I do other things like I tried to get into real estate for a while, but I just don't have the patience for it. But I do have a high yield savings account, some longer term stuff, retirement. I invested in a couple startups. So yes, it's always worthwhile to have your money grow, beat inflation, and not rot in the bank at like a 0.0001% interest rate or something like that. Always go for a higher yield savings account. There's a handful of those. Email me, I can send you links to a couple. Always have some sort of long-term portfolio. The rule of thumb is that the stock market returns like an average of like 7% every single year, so it's absolutely worth it to put money long-term in like even like a ETF, a S&P ETF or something like that. So there's always ways to make your money work for you, and I highly recommend you doing that instead of just doing nothing with it, or worse yet, not taking it out of your trading account and then doing stupid stuff and then losing and giving back to the market, right? So you gotta find a balance between that, right? You gotta be smart about it. Enjoy the Caymans. I leave for the Turks and Caicos this Saturday. Greg, awesome. Thanks a lot for your question, Greg. I was actually going to go to the Turks and Caicos, but I opted to go with Caymans because I kind of looked up online and there's more things to do in the Caymans in terms of activities, so that's why I ultimately chose to go to the Caymans. But the Turks and Caicos are definitely on my bucket list. I'll probably consider going there next year. So hey, why not? Enjoy the Turks and Caicos, Greg. Appreciate your question. So that's all the questions I have. Those are some pretty good questions. A lot of questions about journaling. A lot of questions about stop losses. Good questions, guys. Overall, these are good signs that you guys are on the right track when it comes to your trading. Keep them coming. We're going to do more of these Q&As in the future. Maybe next time I'll be at another awesome exotic location. I'll do another one of these. But other than that, man, thanks a lot for sending your questions. I appreciate it. Hopefully the answers were what you were looking for. And yeah, this is Madaz. I'll see you guys next time. I'm telling you guys, man, that lizard's still there. You guys see it? It just ran away. I just got close and I scared it off. But man, that thing was hanging out with me for like 40 minutes, man. It was getting a free show, a free front row seat to this Madaz Q&A.